Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's TechBan. Welcome back to this dramatic reading of Order and Chaos by Tatsuro. Chapter 7, Friend Like Me. Given Discord's penchant for exploration, it wasn't long before he found his way to the door labeled Mundus. As he had yet to find a door that led to something he didn't enjoy, he went through without a second thought. As he entered, he noted that the door informed him it was the first morning star. As he had no idea what that meant, he ignored it. The first thing he noticed was that the level of ambient energy in the world around him had taken a steep drop as opposed to the other realms he'd been to. Matter felt much sturdier and energy more resilient. He began rubbing his mismatched hands together, eager for a challenge to reshape this place at a whim. Before doing that, he thought, he decided to explore the world as it was. Perhaps he'd find something even more fun than that if he looked hard enough. Much to his surprise, he found exactly what he was looking for. Mortals! He instinctively recognized the difference between these beings and those he'd met so far, and instantly knew his superiority. Something deep inside told him that these creatures were but toys to play with to him, and that Daddy and the others like him saw these creatures in a similar light. However, he didn't want trouble at this point, so he decided to be careful not to break these toys. Yet. Well, at least not unless they asked for it. Much to his surprise, such an event was not long in coming. As he flew over the land, he spotted a warrior doing battle with a giant crab. However, the warrior was hard-pressed, as he apparently wasn't strong enough to deal with even this sort of creature. As Discord approached, the crab went for a killing strike, and the warrior prayed, "Oh, anyone listening, let me survive this!" Discord felt his talons tingling. This was a wish! Oh, he loved wishes, didn't he? Grinning widely, he snapped his talons. The blow connected, and the crab, now in the human's body, died. The human warrior survived, as he wished. But if the frothing and terrified waving of his claws was any indication, he wasn't entirely happy with the outcome. Finding this hilarious, Discord swam on through the air to see what other wishes he could grant and what chaos could come from those. Before long, he found himself over a town. He wandered through the alleys for a time, looking for someone who wanted to wish for something. Eventually, he came across a mother having difficulty feeding her infant. "I wish I could make enough milk for you," she murmured softly and sadly, "but I can barely feed myself." Discord paused. His talons tingled, but he found he didn't want to pull something like what he did with the man and the crab. After all, would he want someone to grant a wish Daddy made about him in that way? He rubbed his talon against his paw, and his paw began to tingle. Curiously, he snapped the pads of his lion paw. Before his and the mother's surprised eyes, her breasts began to expand and spray out copious amounts of milk. Not only was the baby getting plenty to drink, a few of the more well-off men in town started gathering interest, licking their lips and jingling coin purses. The mother looked startled, confused, and pleased. Discord smiled to himself. Not necessarily what she wanted, but he gave her everything she needed, and left her in an awkward situation that she could turn to her advantage if she tried. Feeling he'd done well, he went looking for someone else to grant wishes, hoping the next one wouldn't put him in a philosophic conundrum, or whatever Nocturnal called it when his conscience started to act up. After a long while wandering, he eventually found himself in a much larger city. He chuckled wickedly as he began to explore, looking for an appropriate wish to grant. Eventually, he found the perfect one. A wealthy man was glaring at a rather lovely woman who apparently snubbed him. In a fit of pique, he grumbled under his breath, "I wish she were madly in love with me, so I could reject her for once. Let her see how that feels." The tingling in his eagle talon was practically making it vibrate. He eagerly put two tips together. "And what do you think you're doing?" a voice whispered in his ear. His talons snapped as he let out a yelp, spinning to face the creature behind him. The feeling of power around it instantly told him that this was a being like his daddy. Despite appearing small, impish, and with a curling pair of horns, to all appearances a childish man with a passion for animals, Discord knew to step carefully. Granting wishes?" he offered nervously. I noticed, the man replied dangerously. But that's my thing, my domain, and on my day, for that matter. Not cool. So, why are you stepping on my territory, stranger? It's fun? Discord offered worriedly. Indeed it is, the stranger replied, his voice turning harsh. But I'm not so sure I want to He paused, turning towards the scene below them as he heard shouting. The wealthy man whose wish Discord had been in the midst of granting was screaming in terror. A woman he'd mildly flirted with while buying groceries had dropped dead, choking for air until her face turned black and she toppled onto him. A ways away from the scene, the woman the man had wished about lowered her hand, the sparkle of magic fading from her fingertips as her face curved into an unsettling smile. Clutched in her other hand was an apple core, some hair, and nail clippings that the magical viewing revealed came from the screaming wealthy man. The impish man's lower jaw fell, then slowly rose into an absolutely wicked grin. He wished for a sorceress to love him, and you turned her into a yandere? He cackled with pleasure, rubbing his hands together. Boy, I like your style. But you're a little too obvious with how you do this. Perhaps you need a bit of tutoring? Yes, that's what you need. He turned to him. What's your name? Discord! Discord identified himself instantly, holding out his lion's paw. What's yours? The impish man blinked for a time, then chuckled, accepting the handshake. Clogivus Vile. Discord gasped happily. Daddy talks all about you. He says you're like me too. Really? Clogivus asked curiously, leaning back in thin air with a smirk. Who's your daddy? What does he do? Discord blinked. He didn't actually know the name others called his daddy. He wasn't good with big words yet. Daddy is... Daddy? He offered nervously. He tried to think how he could explain what his daddy did, only to realize he didn't actually know yet. Unsure what else to offer, he decided to offer something his dad had said recently. Cheese for everyone? Clogivus' eyes popped in surprise, and the grin became much more friendly. Oh, you're Shio's boy! I heard about you, but hadn't gotten a chance to swing by the Isles to meet you. Oh, we're going to have so much fun together. Discord grinned widely. I like fun. You teach me wishes? Clogivus chuckled softly. I'm on the job. You big nabble! Discord added, grinning even if he didn't know where the words came from. Grinning along with him, Clogivus joined Discord for the next few words as they turned their eyes to the city. You ain't never had a friend like me.